Thank you, Suresh. I think it's quite similar as well when Eddie shared about the land. I think in Christian, it's basically it's not really on that physical that you're fasting physically, but also the higher thing is how you fasting from gossiping, how you fasting from backbiting, your thinking and everything. You must show that is
mostly spending on the time during these days. We spend the reading of writings, is holy text, and do some lot of good things for the people. All the days must do, but these are the special days we call it.
Yeah,
thank you.
I think that is almost similar to Islam in Ramadan. We also encourage to read Quran, pray more in that sense during that time. Okay, thank you very much. I think there's one thing that I read somewhere. You also have some kind of voluntary contribution, something like zakat. Is it true? 19% to the universal source of justice. Is that true?
Sharul, you continually impress me. You know so much about the faith.
Yeah, I was surprised, Suresh.
Yeah. Sharul, there are two things here.
He's quoting a lot of things.
Sharul, there are two things. One is the Bahai funds, and one is Hukukullah, the right of God. Now, the Bahai funds is something which all Baha'is have a privilege to do. On one hand, we'd like to build a better world, and funds are needed for this purpose. All believers can contribute towards the Bahai fund. And this is throughout the world. That's called the Bahai fund. You know, right? We are in a world, money is needed to do anything, right?
Sure.
Now, that's the Bahai fund. But your question was more tied up towards zakat, which is actually our hukukullah. When a Bahai says, I'm a Bahai, and he starts working, the formula we use is all your income minus all your necessary expense, the balance, 19% of that is given as zakat or hukukullah to the funds.
Yeah, probably hukukullah that you said that ours is zakat is basically 2.5%. But I think the profits from the zakat have been asked, how much should I give out to charity? You said basically anything that above your need, you'll spend to charity. No, I said probably you got 10,000, you just need about 1,000. I think the late Tok Guru Nik Aziz, I think he take about 1,000 and the rest is basically donate to the charity. So that's some people said he just only need that much for his survival necessity and the rest he give it.
You know,
how that whether you are to is really up to individual how how their needs.
You know, Sharul, if you have a big heart, you can give a lot. Yeah. Also, if you live a very simple life, you don't need that much. So really the concept is, how about if all of us as human beings just take enough for ourselves, don't be extravagant, and then guess what? We can eradicate poverty. We'll be totally giving the extras, you know?
Totally agree, Suresh. I'm with you 200%. In fact, there is a saying by my friend. He said, some people, they just, they lead a simple life for others to simply live, you know. I mean, something like that. I think we're quite similar in many, in that sense. Yes, Sami, please.
Okay, it's a very good point. Like what the Muslims doing, zakat, paying zakat. Okay, the money used mainly for charity, for the poor people and so on. Similarly, it goes to what we call it hukukullah. And hukukullah it's a rights of God, we call it. Okay, rights of belongs to God. And that money will go to a body of which is a spiritual body, managing it and using that fund for the activities, for the benefit of the betterment of the society. That is most important. And we know that God has created us, okay? And he created us, he wants us to love him, okay? In order to love him, we are working, and as a portion of it must go to him, okay? In the sense of paying zakat, we are paying hukukullah, okay? Whereby that money will be used by institutions for the betterment of the society, for the activities.
Yeah, thank you, Sami. So in conceptually, it's very similar. It's just that, you know, how you term it, and the percentage, of course, is a little bit different. So I find it, that's why I said, I found many similarities, more similarities than differences in Bahai. But the differences, of course, something that we want to keep as different in that sense. We respect, we want to be like, we want to agree to disagree in that sense, respectfully. So we have our, you know, we want to stick to that in that sense. Okay. Okay. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Suresh also have shared with me that they also like pilgrimage to the Haifa, right? It's more like the Muslim.
That's right.
Makkah,
A very important point.
Yeah.
So the law is every Baha'i who can afford it should once in his life go on pilgrimage. That's in the Kitabi Aqdas, our most holy book, the book of laws. Now, only if you can afford it. So you're not forced to. And this is a theme you'll find in all the writings and the laws. There's always a sense of justice and reasonableness. So once in a lifetime, a Baha'i would save money, take his family, go to the Holy Land, Haifa in the Middle East, and really see the places where the Prophet was buried and where our administration is. And then it's more or less a spiritual cleansing and rejuvenation, just like you go to Mecca for your pilgrimage.
Thank you, Suresh. We have Angeline here, quite active. I just read it to you.
Cheryl, just add in regarding the pilgrimage, something like you go for a 1 month pilgrimage. We also specific dates. We normally go for 9 days pilgrimage. 9 days whereby we spend our time at where our prophets has been, where our manifestation of God Baha'u'llah has been buried in Israel. Okay? So they go and say prayers, mostly spending the time on saying prayers.
Yeah. Thank you, Sami. Is it in Haifa, is it?
Yeah.
Baha'u'llah, yeah, that's a shrine where it was buried, yeah, Baha'u'llah, your prophet.
But, I believe you know much of the Baha'i things. You know a lot of things about Baha'i faith. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, no, of course. I mean, I have to do this. Okay, I have to be fair to Angeline because it's it's one of busy customer. Are we saying that over time God sent different religious leaders to give doctrines of faith to suit the times, like a jigsaw puzzle, So no leader has all the truths of the faith, and Baha'i is uniting all these teachings under one religion. This is from Angeline. And what then happens what then happens to contradictions in this belief? Yeah, this is also a very good question. There are also contradictions, you know. You said Baha'i unites all this religion. Of course, there is also glaring differences. No, this is fundamental differences, probably in Islam, and as well as I think Christianity and probably Hinduism and also Buddhism just now. So how you can't have a cake and eat it too. You can have both ways in that sense. How many Baha'i temples in Malaysia for the 200,000 followers?
Let's do the first one first. It's quite a tough question.
Tough question, yes.
So Angeline is a very smart lady.
She is.
It's not like a jigsaw puzzle. The way I'd explain it is every religion has two parts. One are the spiritual teachings, one are the social teachings. Now, the spiritual teachings flow right through all the religions. The need to pray to your Creator, the need to fast, the need to treat your fellow men as yourselves. The golden rule, that flows right through all our religions. The social teachings change all the time. Hindus might not eat beef. Muslims might not eat pork. The Sabbath for Jews might be Saturday. The Sabbath for Christians might be Sunday. These are changing according to the needs of the time. I still maintain all the religions are one from the same source. And if you look closely enough, you will see sameness. Sameness, not a wrong, malicious word in the Bible or the Quran. It's only when you look at the outward form and perhaps what has happened over the centuries, where churches have broken up and different variants have sprouted out, and no one really knows which is the holy book to refer to. That's where the differences arise. So my advice is simple. Go back to your holy book. Find that it's one message repeated over the ages.
Suresh, if I'm not mistaken, if according to I think the Christian, whatever their denomination is, they believe Jesus is Son of God, which is I think Bahai disagree with that, and basically for you to achieve your salvation is basically you have to believe that Jesus died for your sins. I think John 3:16. So I'm not too sure that. I think Bahai, if you said the unity of God, you cannot have that thing I said both ways.
So in that point, Sharul, you're right. We should agree to disagree. That's okay.
Yeah. So, so that's why in that sense, because that is basically their core teaching. So if they also have that unity of God, probably Islam also can agree to most. That is quite fundamental different between Islam and Christianity.
Very good
in that
point.
sense, yeah. And probably Buddhism and probably Hinduism, they're a bit different. I think, if I'm not mistaken, also you, Bahai, also don't believe in reincarnation.
So
Correct?
reincarnation, we do believe in. It's not reincarnation as I come back to, once I die, I come back to this earth as a dog or as a cow. Not that reincarnation, not the physical one, because my body is buried in the ground. What we believe in is reincarnation, meaning you can come into this world, you can live a life, and you might then discover God and spirituality. You might find your true self, and you might be born again. You might be a new human being. So that reincarnation we believe in. Each of us can find ourselves and be better. Everyone is not hopeless. Everyone has a new life to live. And that's what the Buddha did. The Buddha was a prince, and his father didn't want him to see suffering. He sat under the banyan tree, he meditated, and he came to nirvana, and he was born again. Yeah.
Sami, do you agree with that? Of course, from my reading, I don't see that thing as, because if I'm not mistaken,
maybe I can give an example we can understand much better. You see, God creates mankind, yet God creates man. Okay, man in the sense of man and woman. Okay, so when a baby born, baby lives in the mother's womb. Okay, when they conceived, when mother conceived a baby, it lives there for 9 months, 9 or 10 months. Okay, the moment during the 9 or 10 months, the baby develops all the organs. Okay, whereby it establishes the leg, hand, nose, the face, everything, complete organ, complete human body during the 9 months. But during the 9 months, the baby does not use it. Okay, it's important to develop the organs, the limbs, and the parts. Okay, so that when the baby born into this world, it can be used. During the wombs of the mother, it does not use. The leg does not use to run. The hand does not use to do typing. The eyes does not use to seeing outside world. But it must be completely produced everything. Okay, the moment born in this world, we will be using all the organs, all the limbs and bodies in this world. We work, we run, we write, we do work, and we earn money, we do all the things. And there is a limit. Okay, mother's womb, 9 months. Here, we live for at least about the maximum we can live is about 100 years. And
no, Sami, how do you relate that to reincarnation? I don't quite see that.
Wait, I'm coming to that point. I'm giving sort of an example. Okay, so the moment here the baby prepares the limbs and the bodies so that it can be used in this world. When here we preparing for the next world, and which you call it as a dunya akhirat. Akhirat, where people died and they will go to the next world. That is the kingdom of God. And the moment the baby cannot go back to the mother's womb, it won't go in. Okay, the moment finish birth already, give birth already, it has to live in this world. In this world, it has to prepare for the next world. And the next world is we assume as a spiritual world, God's kingdom, whereby we don't come back with as SURESH. We don't born as a dog or any other forms. Okay, and we will not be born in the other countries. Or I die already, I will born in America. I die already, I will be born, assume as I born in India or elsewhere, or I will born as another form. There is no such things. It's a Bahai beliefs. This is what Baha'u'llah taught, gave us the teachings. Okay, the moment you live in this world, you live for certain number of years, and you died, and you will go to the next world. And
okay, Sami, just correct me on
world.
I want to clarify certain things of what I've read. Basically, from Bahai, there is no like physical heaven and earth, heaven and hell in that sense. There is only that whether you are near to God or you far from God. I mean, that is the concept of basically,
exactly.
Of course, there is physical and that's spiritual. That spiritual will go whether you're near to God and not. It's not like the Christian and Muslim, they believe there is a physical heaven and hell in that sense.
Yes.
So yours is different.
You're spot on correct. The way you describe heaven and hell is the Baha'i understanding.
Yeah. So in that sense, so we are different in that sense, though.
In the
How
sense
can you be?
Okay, let's say we are do a good thing, a lot of good things in this world, and we will be the other world will be nearer to God.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is called people assume that is a heaven. And there is no punishment in the other world. In the punishment, in the sense of when you died, you will burn it. You will put in the hot water and you will burn it, or you will born as a cow, or you will born as a snake, and so on. And the moment you die, your body will be buried in this earth. Okay, because we are belongs to this earth. Your body, this a physical body, will be buried here, whereby our soul will go to the next world. Will go to the kingdom of God.
Sami, so what happened to the next? If you are nearer to God, what do you get? If you further from God, what are the implications, I think it's not clear in that sense.
It's a very good question, Cyril.
Yeah.
So I would liken it to a father and a son. If I love my father, I long to be with him. I long to be near him. I long to hear his voice. If I am a saint, after death, I would go very close to him. I followed all his teachings. I followed all his laws. I cared for fellow men. So heaven would be closeness to God. And then what better blessing is there? Hell would be regret, eternal regret. I could have made so much of my life, I didn't. I could have searched for the truth, I didn't. And you're far from God. So being far from a father would make you sad. That type of concept.
So it's basically only happiness and sadness, only in that sense. So there is no torture and whatnot as what the Muslim and Christian believe.
Yeah, what if, Sharul, I told you there are infinite worlds of God, and God's mercy kind of propels you through that series. So this is maybe world 1. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the time we're getting closer to our maker. So no one is a goner. Everyone has a chance to get closer. But like LOURDUSAMY said, in the mother's womb, you develop organs for this world. And if you develop them well, you are capable in this world. So same, we must use this life well to prepare for the next lives to come.
All right, thanks. I'm just, if I can conclude, I think the thing, Angeline, and I think some of my Buddhist and Muslim friends, we are different in that sense. And I think. So I don't know whether you can, unite them together. We have these differences in that sense. But in the sense that we can unite as human being, as humankind, living in this one world, shared world, I have no problem with that. You are my friend, you are my brothers and sisters, I have no problem with that. It's just that on certain belief, I think we are different. That I beg to differ.
Sharul, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Sharul.
It's just that I want to add, Nagesh has been asking question.
Yes.
This is our next speaker. I've been talking to him. He's very active in Facebook. He's a blogger in Hinduism, and he's very good in English and also in BM. He's written. I think he's quite knowledgeable also in Islam. He's a very good person. Do Baha'is believe to the existence of ghosts or roaming souls? Very interesting question.
Very interesting question. Fantastic question. So I'd like to say yes, Baha'is do believe in the spirit, in the ghost. Often you'd be attached to a father or a mother. The father and mother will go, and you're mourning. And we believe that the soul doesn't just go off to God. He hovers around to make sure you're okay. And then once you're okay, there's no choice. There's no earthbound soul. That soul progresses towards his maker, his rightful home. So we do believe in ghosts. We don't meddle with ghosts. We just keep it positive and pray a lot. And that spirit, after watching you're okay, moves on to his rightful home, another world, the spiritual world.
All right. I don't know, Nagis, whether he answered your. I think that's basically Bahai view. I think we respect that. No problem with that. Probably he can also share his side of Ghost.
Okay.
In 2 weeks' time, so you
Yes.
can watch him. And the Roaming Souls, I sure Roaming Soul. I think the Chinese movies also believe in that.
Yes.
I think Japanese. I think the Japanese also believe in that spirits, right? Okay, never mind. Right. It's been very interesting because I think we are talking here and there. The questions everywhere. I cannot really keep to, but we have like 15 minutes. I really like. Okay. You also, I believe, you cannot drink and sell alcohol, right? For Bahai, is that true?
Yes.
That's right.
That's very true. How about gambling?
And no gambling, no alcohol, no drugs.
No drugs, right? So that's very clear. I don't see the alcohol, but I see the drinking and selling alcohol so prohibited, which is okay. So gambling also same thing.
Yeah,
right?
many people say alcohol is a personal thing. I should be allowed to drink. It's social. I won't get drunk.
Yep.
We have seen in the world lots of social ills by alcohol. Certain countries, the whole 2 weeks' wages are spent on alcohol, and the guy comes home drunk and beats up the wife. These type of ills we should eliminate. You know, we are matured human beings.
Okay, Suresh, I add another 100% to that because the Muslim, I totally agree with that. Also, you know, we cannot be any part of that thing. You know, because some people say they don't drink, but they sell. To me, it's even
Bahais are forbidden.
yeah, that is
Bahais are forbidden from drinking.
Yeah. Smoke. How about smoking? Can you do that?
Smoking up to individuals.
So the guideline, Sharul, on smoking is yes, Baha'is can smoke. However, we have a strong guidance in the writings. The son of the teacher, Abdul Baha, said, if you love me, you would not smoke.
Okay.
And that itself deters what, 95, 99% of Baha'is? Yeah.
Okay. So those who smoking Bahai, they don't love the
No.
You know, Sharul, you'll be surprised when you have enough love, anything is possible. Love is the answer.
True. Okay. Telefon tolong message saya terus. Itu saja. Terima kasih daripada saya. I love you 7 billion times. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. During that time. Okay, thank you very much.